I'm honored to introduce Jackie Tacarelli.
I'm short. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for allowing me to be here. It is truly a privilege to be in such a space with so many amazing people who share pictures of so many different individuals. So thank you. When people hear that I currently work as a case manager for former foster youth and as the approved program specialist and managing our internship and mentor programs, many are surprised to learn that I originally went to school to become a doctor. So for a long time, I envisioned myself helping people and improving their health and well-being while wearing one of those prestigious white coats. I pursued a bachelor's degree in kinesiology on the pre-medicine track at my alma mater, believing that medicine was the clearest path to making a meaningful difference in people's lives. But as I moved through my education, I began to realize there were far too many systemic issues that existed long before patients ever walked through the doors of their doctor's offices. For many marginalized communities, illnesses don't start in the body alone. It begins in the systems that have been built to favor certain groups over others. Systems that reward wealth, punish poverty, and leave entire communities without access to stability, safety, or opportunity. I came to understand that while medicine treats symptoms, many of the deepest wounds are created by social and structural inequities. I see this reality every single day in my work with foster youth, current and former. These are young people who are often given little to no resources to truly thrive or to develop the capacity needed to confidently navigate their futures. While many youth their age are encouraged to dream about careers, explore college options, or imagine what they want their lives to look like, many of the youth I work with are focused on survival. They're worrying about where their next meal will come from, how they'll pay rent next month, or whether they'll have a safe place to lay their head at the end of the day. And as their case manager, my role is to walk alongside them as they navigate incredibly complex welfare systems, one that was never designed with ease or compassion in mind, so that they can begin to plan for their futures and successfully transition into adulthood. Sometimes that means helping them access resources. Sometimes it means advocating for them in spaces where their voices are often dismissed. And sometimes it simply means being a consistent presence in a world that has been anything but consistent. What makes former foster youth so remarkable is their resilience. Despite facing countless setbacks, adverse childhood experiences before ever entering the child welfare system, frequent placement changes, disruptions in their education, chronic instability, poverty, and a lack of guidance on how to enter the workforce or pursue higher education, they continue to persevere. These young people face more obstacles than most groups in the United States, yet they keep going. At times, I find myself coaching youth on things many of us take for granted. How to fill out a form independently, how to advocate for themselves, or even how to let a supervisor know when they're sick and can't come into work. These are skills that many of us learn naturally because of the caring adults who guided us along the way. Caring adults that many of these youth have never had. And I want to make something very clear. These are not youth who are ineffective, problematic, lazy, or unambitious, labels that society is far too quick to assign. These are youth who have never been given the knowledge, resources, or support needed to effectively pursue their goals. They have dreams. They just haven't always been shown how to voice them, or even given permission to believe in them. I believe that every individual, marginalized or not, has the right to dream of a better tomorrow, the right to imagine a future, and to have the support needed to pursue it. That's why I feel incredibly privileged to work in a space where that belief is built into my very job description. I get to be one of those caring adults, someone who helps guide young people along the routes that can eventually lead them to their desired destinations. My passion for helping others navigate their futures is deeply rooted in the strong people who have guided me, especially strong women, one of which even introduced me today. But one person and one moment in particular truly transformed my passion into purpose. Her name is Pantic, and she was one of my very best friends, truly the closest thing that I have ever had to an older sister. During high school, when the idea of planning for my future felt so overwhelming and impossible, as it does for many, many emotional, hormonal teenagers, Pantic was one of the few people who gave me hope. She believed in me when I struggled to believe in myself, and she gave me the confidence to imagine a future that felt attainable. Without her constant encouragement and support, I honestly don't think I would have made it through high school, let alone be here today in front of you. Tragically, during my senior year of high school, a construction crane in Seattle was being improperly dismantled and collapsed, crushing a few cars beneath it. Pantic was in one of those cars, and she was killed. I was devastated. I remember wondering how I could possibly hope for a future that she would never be a part of. As much as I wanted to retreat into my grief and trauma, I knew her death could not be in vain. I chose to transform my pain into purpose, to love others more deeply, to support them more intentionally, and to help them see the futures that still exist for them, even when their vision is clouded by hardship and pain. Because of Pantic, I made it my life's mission to be for others what she was for me. Now, as I pursue my master's in public health, my goal is to address the deep inequities our country continues to face, so that the health and well-being of future generations is sustainable and accessible for everyone. Because there is no future if we keep leaving people behind. There is no future if we continue to lose individuals to the systems around us. There is no future if we give up on the people who need us most. It is our responsibility, especially as educators, advocates, and community members, to persistently and compassionately set the next generation up for success. Because when we support young people in navigating their futures, we are ultimately supporting our collective future, the future of our communities and the future of humanity. Thank you.